Yeah, class, confirm that you all are there, so I will continue. I was just telling you that, yeah, please confirm that you all are there. Yeah, you all are there. Very good, very good. Ravi. Yes, Pavan, yes, Pavan. I'll continue because I'm worried I will not be able to complete the problem. So I was telling you that Zj is all 0. Zj is all 0. You have all the 0 guys here. So Cj, this one, minus Zj will be delta. Yes, Shilpi. Yes, Vicky. Good. So delta will be Cj itself. So I'm writing here. Yeah, whenever we are doing a problem properly only, something has to happen. Yeah, before it cheats us again. Okay, we'll write this thing 5, 10, 8, and no, I always have a great experience with Facebook so far. Let's not discuss any postmortems. We'll just do our work. Okay, so here we are. Now we have to find out, we have to make one of the variables depart. That is S1, S2, S3, and instead of S1, S2, S3, we must bring in X1, X2, X3, something like this. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to put the, we have to going to find the minimum ratio. Alright, to find the minimum ratio, we must see which is the highest coefficient among these fellows. 3, 3, 5, 2, 4, 4, 4. What is this? 2, 4, 5. So which is the biggest fellow here? 5, isn't it? We'll take the first 5 of x1. Sorry, of s1. S1 row, first 5. This one we will take. Alright? That will mean x2 will become the departing, arriving variable. Is that clear? So first we'll identify 5, and then that will be the row. X2 will be, sorry, the column X2. Guys, I can't see, it's difficult, so you'll have to excuse me. Okay, but I know that you are understanding. Hi Prashant, happiest morning to you. This X2, no? This one we will take, and this will be the key column. So put this thing there. Put a strong, fat little arrow there. Okay. So what do we do now? We take this 60, this whole column, and divide by the element in the key column. So 60 will get divided by 5. 12, 12 no? What is this? 72, sorry. 72 will get divided by 4. 100 will get divided by 4. You understand? I repeat, the key x2 will become the key column, and you have to divide 60 solution by the element in the key column. So 60 by 5. 60 by 5 you will get, in the minimum ratio you will get 12. I'm not going to write, I'm just going to write 12. Okay. And 72 by 4 you will get, I think, 18, and 100 by 4 we will get 25. Alright, so we got 12, 18. My table is complete. All I need to do is identify the key element by finding out which is the lowest in the minimum ratio. Which is the lowest? Obviously 12. So this row becomes the key row, and who is there here? Mr. S1. Mr. S1 becomes the departing variable. Understand, class? 12 is the least among 12, 18 and 25. So whichever row 12 is there, this row becomes, and who is this fellow? Mr. S1. S1 is departing. RIP. RIP is what? Rest in peace or rise if possible. Yeah, poor thing. Don't shouldn't make fun like that. Someone told me shouldn't make fun like that. No, I'm sorry. Okay, so we are departing S1. All right, identify that as someone made a joke and I repeated it without thinking. I'm very, really, truly sorry. Don't want to. The pain of losing a dear one, no, is pretty bad. All right. So, which is the key element for us? The intersecting one, and that is 5. So, I'm going to circle 5. All right. 5 is our key element. Why? Because it is the intersecting in the, this is the key column and this is the key row and 5 is the key element. All right. So, we look at delta. All these zeros, 0, 0 is correct. It will be good for us to have a solution. But 5, 10 and 8 are positive. We should, delta should be negative or 0. So it means we have to do another iteration table. Are you ready? Another iteration table. Now, as I told you, we are ruling the same way. How we ruled for the previous, we are ruling leave one, leave place for one column and rule a complete line like this. Now I told you one for basic variable, okay, then the x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3. How many we got? x1, x1, x2, x3 is 3, s1, s2, s3 is 3, so 6 plus 1, 7, 7 columns. Rule for 7 columns. Okay. Now the first row line comes only for these 7 columns. Okay. And then in the first column you write CB, that is coefficients of the basic objective function, CB. Again, it is all the same. The objective function for us has not changed. So we have 5, fill in 5, 10, 8, 0, 0, 0. Now washing machine के press करो. Okay. Then the next line should be, next row line should be for all the columns. Okay. So in the first one you write basic variable, no, not basic variable. You have to write CB. CB, no? Yeah, again you have to write CB. Sorry. Next one is basic variable. Wait, I'll show you how to. CB and basic variable. Okay. Now I'll fill the basic variable column x1, x2, x3 because these will not change. All right. Departing is on the column down there. S1, S2, S3, and last no rule of for that minimum ratio. I'll just put MR and I'll put solution. Right? We are ready to do the necessity, the rest of the columns, right? So how many you require? You had 3, you know, x1, x2, s3. Basically you need 3. So here S1 is going and it is getting replaced by X2 because you got the key element in the X2 column. Alright, so here I have to rule first three lines. See, some people don't rule rows for this three lines, this S1, S2, S3, they don't rule. And after that they rule. But I prefer to rule because I don't, the confusion is not there. No? I don't want the numbers to go from one identified by some other thing. Then you have Zj and you have delta J. I'll write in the basic variable column first. See, in the basic variable column, I had put x1, s1, s2, s3. But we found out that s1 was the departing variable. So goodbye to s1, we are replacing it by x2. Why? The key element and the key column was x2. Alright, so here I am writing x2, then below that s1 and s2. Okay, now write the coefficients of here in this. What was x2 in the, what is x2 here? This is basic variable, sorry, coefficients of the objective function. So x2 was 10. So here the coefficient 10 comes. S1, S2 and S3 is 0, 0, 0, 0. So here you'll get 0, 0, x2. Coefficient in the objective function is 0. So I'll put here, sorry, coefficient here is 10. So I'll put 10. I repeat, x2 here. This is C means coefficient in the basic variable or the objective function. So x2 will be 10 as in this line, and the objective function s1, s2, s3 is 0, 0. Put there, fill the column 10, 0, 0. Now you'll have realized that because of 10 you will get some value in the Zj. Alright. Okay, now we'll fill in the x2 column the coefficient of x2. Alright. No, before that we have to work out, isn't it? We have to do with the key column and the key. Alright. What do we do now? Key element. We have to divide by the first one will be divided by the key element. So what was the wait for the v x2, no? What was the elements given here? 3, right? Key element is 5. So 3 by 5 is how much? Please work out. I'll give you the values. I have a sum worked out here. 3 by 5 must be 0.6. I'll just confirm. Yes. So I have the sum worked out here. I'm putting here 0.6. I think you'll get 1. Then you'll get 0.4, 0.2, and then 0, 0. These are the values. And then for solution 60 by 5 is 12. What have I done? I have everything. Key element is 5. So the whole row I have divided with the key element. Alright. Now row 2 will be original values of the row minus, what is 4? 4 is a key element. 4 into R1. Now listen carefully. Old row element, what was there in this first one? Old row element minus 4 4 is the key element. What is the key element? Sorry. You have to identify 4. Yeah. Look at this key column. Here in the second row, this corresponding was 4. So this 4 into all the elements here. Old element minus, it is like this. You have to write like this. Look at here. Don't be worried. R2, that is row 2, is equal to old R2 element. Wait, I'll write and show you. Minus 4. What is 4? Corresponding what you got in the key column. Okay? 4 into R1. R2 means R2 means row 2. Row 2. R2 means row 2. Row 2 means old R2 element minus 4. Why? 4 is the corresponding, yeah, corresponding element in key column. Which key column? In the first one. Write this neatly, class. Alright. Now, I will give you the values because we don't have much time to calculate. Yes, you got. Excellent, Shilpi. Shall we do 0.6 and all, or Shilpi, you can do like that, or another way. Okay, one more thing. Excellent, Shilpi, calculate. I have here worked out problem, and it is 1.6 0 2.4 minus 0.8 1 and 0. Shilpi, yeah. Yes, Shilpi, I've put it in decimal, this thing. If you have calculated, you're right, Shilpi, make it into decimal and put here. Okay, that is 2.4. I'll repeat the values: 1.6, 0, 12 by 5, see, 8 by 5 becomes 1.6, 12 by 5 becomes 0, 2.4 minus 0.8, 1 and 0. And for 12, what do you get? For 72, you get 24. Okay, now we'll go for the third one, third row. R3, that is row 3, is equal to old R3 element. Write down old R3 element. Again, we are getting 4 only as the corresponding key column element. Minus 4 into R1. R1, not R2. Okay, so I'll give you the values straight away that calculated here. Minus 0.4, 0, 3.4, minus 0.8 again, 0, 1, and you will get here 52. See class, you calculate later. If I'm going, yeah, Shilpi has calculated. Good, good Shilpi. Yes, Shilpi has calculated. She's got the same numbers. If any of you have not calculated, don't worry. The numbers are correct. Please copy, because if you go on calculating, I cannot complete the problem. That's why I brought this. Okay. Now ZJ Shilpi. Shall we do the ZJ? I'll give you the values. I've already told you how to calculate ZJ. So the values I've got here are, wait, I've not put ZJ and not put delta J. Okay. ZJ is, no, put ZJ here. I had not put this. I had not put it. I'll put it. Now ZJ values are 6. Class, I advise you to copy the values and we'll complete the problem. The values will be correct. If they are not correct, you can just work out. All right, you know how to work out. It's not because last time we did properly how to work out. Now we have to rush. I'm worried again. The Facebook may give, this may give trouble. So I'll give you the values: 6, 10, 4, 2, 0, 0. Okay. So I will show you again. 1 minute. 6, 10, 4, 2, 0, 0. Good Shilpi. R2 is this one. And R3 is, remember it is 4 into R1, not R2. We base it all on the key row. Elements of the key row we use. Alright? Don't say for R2 row I used R1, so for R3 I'm using R2. No. Alright? Except for the key column element. Okay? Yes, Shilpi, thank you. So your values are, Shilpi has given there and they are right. -1, 0, 4, correct. 4, -2, 0, 0. Perfectly correct, Shilpi. So now we calculate the minimum, this column, this column. So this column will be, first we have to identify the key row. Which is the highest one? 3.4, isn't it? So 3.4 is the highest here. So this fellow, this one, x3 will be the key row. Alright? Put a nice thick arrow. Unless with pencil you want to, just put lines and say this is the row. Now we are calculating minimum ratio. What do we do? X3 is the key column for us. So solution values 12 divided by 0.4. How much is this? 24. 24 divided by this fellow, 2.4. Sorry, I cannot see. This is 52 divided by 3.4. So your values are 30, 10 and 15.2. It's not 152, it is 15.2. Is that clear? Okay. You know how to calculate, so don't worry. Now next step is to find the key row. Which is this one? You have 30, you have 10, 30, 10 and 15.2. 10 is obviously the least value. So this one, S1, becomes S1. This is 10. S1 becomes the departing variable. Okay. And which one should come there? X3. Oh my god. S1 becomes the departing variable. Wait, I'll just put the row. It's easier to teach on the board, man. So you found the key row. The key row has which element? S1. So S1 will depart. And which one will be the key element 1? X3. So here you have X2. This one will go and you will get X3 coming in the next iteration table. Why should we do the next iteration table? Because this is not an optimal solution. Optimal solution -1 is fine, 0 is fine, 4 isn't, -2, 0, 0. So still we have 4 which is a positive. You have to get a negative or you have to get a 0. So there still is a 4. So this is not an optimal solution. We'll go on to the next iteration table. Be ready. Alright. So what is our key element? Our key element is 2.4. Why? It is the intersecting element from the key row and key column. S3 values for class. Here I have done a mistake. Not S1 and S2. It should be S2 and S3. I'm sorry class. Why? S1 was on top. It went, So our departing variable will be S2 now. I'm sorry. I should not have made a mistake. X2 new fellow. S1 was there. S1 went away. So you have S2 and S3. Now this is the key row with the minimum based on the minimum ratio values. So S2 is the departing variable now. It will be replaced by X3 in the next column, in the next table. I'll show it once again. Ravi, I got the same values. What you do, Noma, you do the checking of the actual values later. It's after all simple arithmetic when you know how to calculate, okay? So do later. I want to complete the problem. My worry is I want to complete the problem. Alright? Again, we go, we have to rule columns for x1, x1, x2, x3. S1, S2, S3. That is 6 and plus 1 for the CB. So 7 rows, 7 columns, please do, and leaving 1 free. Please rule. You must be wondering why I'm not using a scale to rule. It's difficult to, it will take double time, man, because the papers are so small. And I cannot use huge papers. I tried using huge papers before. Okay, the first all will be CB, all right, and we will get 5, 10, 8, 0, 0, 0. Alright. The second row will be a line for the complete thing. I'm just trying to teach you how to remember to draw the table so that you won't have in the exam you can do it faster. So I'm writing their solution and MR meaning minimum ratio. And here we'll write basic. So no. CB again and basic variable. Alright. Ready? I'll fill in the basic variables x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3. Now, the first one we have to do, which fellow? Yeah, x2. x2 remains as x2, ruler line. Instead of s2, we are bringing x3, isn't it? And last we have s3. Alright. And following that you have zj and you have delta to the base j. Okay. Now in the CB I will fill in 10, 8, 0. Now here you just copy what I'm trying to what I'm showing you. R1 is equal to R1, old element, old R1 minus 0, wait, which is the key 2.4, no? Okay, minus 0.4 into R2. R2 means I'll put it as R2 dash. Why? Of the next second table. When I said R2, it was of the first table. So R2 dash. Where I got 0.4, it is the corresponding element in the key column. Alright? In that row, no? That column which came. Next, R3, this is also R1 dash it will be. So R3 is equal to old R3 minus 3.4 into R2 dash. When I say dash, it means of the second table. When I don't say dash, it means of the first table. Okay. Now I'm just going to give the numbers. Shilpi and Ravi at later. Okay. Let me finish the problem. Ma. Yes. S2. Correct, ma. Correct, Shilpi. Now I'll fill in the numbers. 0.36. I'll give you the numbers. 1, 0, 0.32 minus 0.16, 0, 8. Okay. This is the first row. You can verify later. X3 is 8. We have already got 8. 0.6, 0, 1, minus of 0.3, 0.4 and 0, then you get 10. You just copy the numbers because you know how to work out. Okay, why I have given in decimals is easier for you to calculate. Okay, last time I show you 3 by 5 so that you'll remember what divided by what, etc. Now since you know how to calculate and you have made your notes also, you know this one, you just see, all of you should make notes that you will remember how the problem goes. Okay, next is minus 2.4, 0, 0, 0.2, minus 1.3, 1 and 18. Wait. I'll hold it steady. You copy the numbers. Imagine you're doing it from the board. We will work on ZJ now. Ready everyone? I'll work on ZJ. ZJ, I'll tell you. 8.4. Okay, 5 minus of minus 2.4. Alright? 8, 8.4 or 7.4? Isn't it 7.4 should be? I think it is 7.4. Okay, next. Next, 10. Just tell me, man, whether 7.4 is correct or no. Correct, it is 8.4. Okay, 10, 8.8, 1.6, 0. Just tell me whether these are correct. 8.4, 10, 8.8, 1.6, 0. Last, I'll do the delta. Minus 3.4, 0, 0, minus 0.8, minus 1.6, 0. So we got our answer. I'll hold it steady. You click a pic or copy it. I'll hold it steady for 2 minutes. No need to do the minimum ratio because we got the answer. No need to identify the key element, etc., etc. I hope you finished. Now you see this solution will give you the answers. x2 is 8. Class, see this? Now this is very important. After doing everything correctly, if you don't do the proper answers, you are in a soup. So this is x2. x2 will be 8. x2 is 8. x3 is 10. Alright? x3 is 10. Now S3S is 18. Is S3 any useful for us? No, it is not. Alright? We wanted, look here, x2 is equal to 8. Write down, I'll write it and show you. x2 is equal to 8. x3 is equal to 10. S3 is equal to 18. Okay? Do we care what is S3? We don't. Do we care? We don't. So how much is x1? 0. Okay? So I'll put here, maximize z is equal to 5x1 plus 10x2 plus 8x3. Here is my objective function without the standardized version. Okay, so z equal to x1, we got no value, so we will think x1 is equal to 0. So 5 into 0 plus 10 into 8, x2 is 8, plus 8 into 18. Hey, I made a mistake, man. What is 8? 8 into, what is 18? 18, no? No, x3 is 10. 8 into 10. I put the value of S3. I'm sorry. This is correct. S3 we don't want at all. It doesn't matter. X1, see here. X1 will be 0. Here x2 is given above 8. x3 is 10. So 5 into 0 is 0. You will get 80 plus 80. Your value is equal to, if it is in rupees, we'll assume it is in rupees. This is your answer. Suppose x1 was shoes, x2 was chappals, and x3 was sandals. Then your answer would be, don't make any shoes, make how many? 8 chappals and 10 sandals. Okay, so our problem is done. I'm very happy that I managed to complete a problem. All right. Okay. So, Ravi, I like that you're working out, and that shows, it shows my success of teaching you properly. All right. I'm very happy. It's not a easy thing to teach simplex method online, but I think we have achieved it with your cooperation. All right. I'm very happy, class. Now, I was truly worried. See, simplex problem method is simple. Okay. I don't want to add the x in the simplex problem to make things complicated for you. Simplex should not be complex, and simplex you should forget the x in the simplex problem. All right, that was my idea. We have done what we could. Now, just what you have to do is here in this problem there were three variables. Uh, see, three variables means it requires about 15 minutes to complete the problem. The 15 marks problem it becomes. We'll see what we'll achieve about it. But I had to teach you three slack variables problems I've taught you. I think on Friday I will teach you another one with two variables, just to make sure that you are very very thorough with simplex method. If I can, I'll make two problems of two variables. All right. This three slack variables problem, one is enough. Okay. We don't have so much time as to do three slack variables. So how to do with three slack variables I've taught you. When you go into your career, you can see. Alright, you know how to do. But for two variables, I need to do one or two more problems. This week, I will do that itself. Okay, I will do so that your memory will come back with the two problems. And as you do, if you want to make tiny notes in your book, how this came, how this number came, you can do that. All right. So maybe one or two more simplex method problems, so that I'm very confident that you all have understood the simplex method, and then we will go ahead. All right. I have two topics left. We are almost at 80% completion. If I should consider that as 10%, which it isn't. Okay, I would say that it would be about 12% left. I would say 88% of the syllabus is complete as of today. So um, we have two topics. One is simulation and one is queuing. Queuing involves a few formulae where it involves a lot of Greek letters. So before I start that, in my last class this week, I will show you the letters and what is the pronunciation. You must copy them down. Before I start the queuing problems, previous class, I will give you the Greek letters and how to pronounce them. So you're very sure. When I say lambda, you know what I mean. When I say rho, you know what I mean. When I say mu, you know what I mean. It should not be confusing. All right. So maybe in the next class only I will show you, and I will tell you you have to learn them by heart. What in case some of you who haven't done maths don't know what to do. All right. So with that we are through. I'm feeling happy, and when I do come back to class, as the honorable education minister has said that you saw that I gave you a press release that he has given. He says we will do some offline classes, but we may have minimum time. See, it is fine that we are doing offline classes, but it all depends upon each course and how much time we have. All right. Many of you, the seniors, foreigners, need to go back to their jobs also. So, given all this, when the Vice Chancellor asks us, we will give the appropriate feedback. Meantime, please don't ignore the online classes. Uh, get yourselves ready. See, uh, you know the wisdom lies in adapting to any situations. All right, wisdom lies in adapting to any situations. It is intellectual is one thing, being clever is one thing, but wise comes in a different way. All right. Wise means something else. Intellectual is clever, genius, okay, fine. So, but wisdom is how to live with different situations. Alright? So, they say there was a Pandit who was going traveling, on a boat, and he looked at the boatman and he said, "Do you know mathematics?" See, this is my assumption. I don't know what he asked. Different questions. Do you know science? Do you know economics? Do you know maths? We'll put it in our terms. Do you know statistics? Do you know operations research? Let's assume he was an MBA. All right. So you have this guy who's an MBA. He's sitting in a boat and he's asking the poor boatman who hardly has any clothes. He's rowing and he's asking this fellow, "Do you know economics? Do you know statistics? Do you know corporate finance? Do you know human resources?" And everything. This fellow he's seeing stars. He says he's busy rowing the boat and he's watching, because the water is getting turbulent. So everything says, "No, sir, no, sir." So this MBA is telling him, "Your life is a waste." All right. And then what happens is there is some problem and the boat overturns. Both are in the water. So the boatman asks him, "Do you know swimming?" So this MBA said, "No, I don't know swimming." In panic, he says, "Then your life is a waste." I will not go into what happened later. So this is wisdom. In They say King Solomon asked when God asked King Solomon, "What do you want?" King Solomon wisely said, "I want wisdom," and God gave him wisdom. For example, when there was in his kingdom, there were two ladies who came with one baby. All right, one dead baby and one baby who was alive. Both the women had given birth to children. One of them gave birth to a stillborn child. The baby was born dead, and the other baby was alive. And both of them were saying, "That is my baby. The one which is alive is my child." You understand? Two women delivered at the same time. One was a stillborn child. Stillborn means dead at birth only. So both of the one child was alive, and both of them were saying, "That child is mine." So they came to the king to resolve whose baby it is. So King Solomon looked at them and he thought for a while and he said, "Okay, cut the baby into half and give each one half." Cut the baby into half and give each lady half the baby. So one lady said, "Fine, cut the baby into half." Okay, but the second lady said, "No, no, no. Let the baby be hers. I have no problem. I'm not going to fight. Let the baby be hers, but don't cut the baby." Now you know who the mother is. Obviously, the second lady was willing to sacrifice the child, but not the life of the child. So King Solomon said, "Yes, that is the mother of the child. Give the child to the real mother," who said, "Don't cut the baby. I will not fight for the child. Let her have the child." Okay. So these are some things in wisdom. It says the Queen of Sheba, Sheba, which Sheba is currently in Eritrea, which is next to Ethiopia. So I believe we have Haile Selassie, who recently passed away, and they came, it was the king, I think, emperor or something there of Eritrea. He claimed to have been a descendant of Queen of Sheba. So Queen of Sheba came to test Solomon's wisdom, and she stood a little distance away and she showed two vases of similar flowers. Similar or flowers, okay? She says one of them is artificial, one of them is real. The craftsmen in my country have made these artificial flowers so well that I'm sure you cannot understand which is the real flower. So you're sitting there, you're not to touch them, you just have to see them from far, not very far, okay? And tell me which are the real flowers. So Solomon said, "Open the windows." They opened the windows and bees came. They come, zzz. Honeybees or bees came and settled on one of the vases. So he said, those are the real flowers. The bees who came and settled on the flowers, he said, those are the real flowers. So in our life also, we have to have wisdom. Whatever is happening, we have to adjust to it. We need to live, and we need to live really well. All right? So be wise, learn to adapt to situations. When the offline classes come, they will come. We still don't know. See, the lockdown is over yesterday, but the corona has not yet gone. You see the cases, I don't want to say anything about it. But we have to keep ourselves away from getting the disease. We have to keep our minds and our bodies ready. All right? We all have to be, we have to stay strong. We have to fight that virus. Yeah, we have to fight the virus. So we have to keep the social distancing, keep the masks on, but not all the time. See, masks also inside the cars, inside our houses, masks are not necessary. But when you go out to meet people, especially when you're going to shopping and all, make sure the mask is on. When you're talking to people, stay at a distance and say that the mask is on. Remember to wash your hands, soap and water, or whatever is the case, maybe sanitizer or something. When you're outside, you can't wash with water, sanitizer. But as soon as you come, your feet, your face, your hands, all soap and water. So happily for us, the virus is as simple as it goes away with a little soap and water. What if we had to use some mild kind of acid, like the carbolic acid, which doctors use to clean their hands before surgery? What if we had to buy and use that? See, God is good to us. It's just simple. Soap also has carbolic acid basically. But if we had to do stronger carbolic acid, what would we have done? There would have been a long queue at these chemical shops. So it's that mild carbolic acid is enough. Soap has the carbolic acid. So what I'm trying to tell you is, keep yourself safe, keep yourself happy. Yeah, uh, yeah. So, and stay strong. I'll come back on Friday. I will do one or two more simplex problem with just two slack variables, so that I'm very sure all of you have learned the problem. Three slack variables becomes R3, R3, R2 slash, R1 slash, as it happened here. That is the row in the second column. R1 slash would be the first row in the second table. R2 slash would be the second row in the second table. Simple R2 would be the second row in the first table. So now I needed to teach you one with three slack variables, because if in this problem we didn't get x1 value at all. So you may ask me, ma'am, no x1 value, what do I put? Do I put it as 1 or do I put it as 0? It is when there is no value. Alright. Like when I started the problem, I told you for constraints, suppose we wanted to put three stack variables. In the first constraint, we added S1, meaning one S1, and S2 and S3 were not necessary. All right. So if there's no value given, it is a zero value. So here in this problem, we got x1, we didn't get any value. So x1 will be 0. Alright, x2 and x3 we got the values. Now let the three variables stand. In case you need for anything, you can learn that. But mostly you have to learn for two variables. Alright. So next I'll do two, as I said, I'm repeating what I said. It's not necessary. Okay, you have a class, I know. God bless all of you. Smile again, all of you. And be happy always. A happy heart spreads happiness. Yeah, we have to spread happiness, because so many problems in this world. Yeah, we should fight it. We should fight the virus. We should fight the situation. That only best way is to adapt. Okay. Okay, I think I have done enough of other class apart from operations research, but I am so happy because we finished the problem. We finished the problem, and we finished it. And I told you how to decipher that objective function. We found the answer for the objective function. Every time it becomes very difficult. the simplex method being so long. Okay. Bye, guys. Take care. You have another class, I'm sure. Love you all. God bless. Jai Hind. Jai Karnataka.